Hello my lovelies, you're welcome to my channel. If this is your first time seeing my channel, you're welcome. Please kindly subscribe, like, comment, share. I always share amazing recipes. You won't regret being part of this amazing family. And today I'll be teaching you how I made this yummy fluffy homemade bread. So if this is what you're interested in, come let's do this together. Alright, for our bread we'll be needing margarine, we'll be needing sugar, flour. Please sift your flour very well. Please always sift your flour before you use. We'll be needing warm water, eggs, nutmeg, salt and yeast. Do not worry, I'll drop the exact measurement and recipe for you in the description box, so just go there and you will get everything. So let's move. Next thing we're doing now is to get a bowl, add in our warm water. Into it we'll be adding in our salt, and then we'll be adding in our egg. And what we'll do is to mix it together. Make sure you mix, make sure everything, the whole egg yolk is properly dissolved, and then you set that aside. You get a bowl. Into that you add your sugar, you add your flour, and then you add in your nutmeg and yeast, and then you use your hands to mix this well. You know the sugar is down, so you need to mix it very well. Make sure you've mixed, make sure the sugar, everything, the nutmeg, you'll feel it with your hands. You know that you've mixed this very well. Okay, so once you've mixed this properly very well, you now introduce your margarine into it, and then you mix your margarine into the flour mixture. You mix it very well till it feels like breadcrumbs. You know the way breadcrumbs is, that's how you mix. Yes, just the way you're seeing it, feeling like breadcrumbs like this. And you know you've mixed your margarine inside very well. And then you now start introducing that our water egg mixture we did earlier. Please, you'll be introducing it gradually. You're not going to just pour it in at once. Okay, so this is me. I've poured a little and I've mixed. I'll keep adding it little by little until I have exhausted everything, and then gradually my dough will start forming and coming together. You will see it. This is the last one I've added, and then I'm going to mix this thoroughly. Make sure it's mixed in the bowl. Make sure you get all the flour in the bowl together. Mix it thoroughly, mix it very well. This is bread. Let me tell you the secret. You have to be ready to give it time to mix, give it time to knead. The fluffiness of your bread depends on the time you devote to kneading your bread. Depends on the time you give the kneading of your bread. If you don't knead well, you will not get a fluffy bread. All right, so I've sprinkled some flour on my work surface, and I'm transferring that my dough from my bowl back to my work surface, and I'm going to knead. This is where the work for the bread is. You know, if you have a stand mixer that has a dough hook, you don't need to go through all this stress. Your mixer does the job for you. But we're using our hands. I have the stand mixer, but I want to use my hand to teach you, just for people who don't have it. Okay, so this is my dough. It has come together. I kneaded this dough for about 25 minutes. I set my timer, and this is what I got. See, it is already pliable. It's looking yummy already. Okay, so what we're going to do now is to transfer it into our bowl. Allow the dough to rest. You know, give the gluten time to rest. That is one of the reasons why we allow the dough to rest after we finish kneading. So I'm going to sprinkle some flour in that bowl where I mixed before, and then I'm going to transfer my dough into it, allow it to rest for a while. Please, like I said earlier, I didn't show where I was kneading, sorry, because I didn't want this video to be too long. But please give time to kneading. You will enjoy your bread if you knead it very well, trust me. But if you don't knead well, you will not like it. Okay, so I've kept this back into the bowl, and I'll allow it sit for about 20 minutes. All right, so while that is sitting, let's prepare our pan. So this is the pans I'll be using. I just put in some margarine inside of it, and I'm going to spread it just the way you're seeing it. Make sure the margarine is spread in every corner of the pan. This process is to help the bread to come out easily when it's done in the oven, when you bring it out of the oven. If you don't do it like that, your bread might stick to your pan. And so I'm adding some flour into this, and then I'm going to just dust it around it. The margarine in the pan will make the flour you've added in this to stick to the pan. Okay, so I'm just dusting it into the next one, and then from that I'll take it to the last one. So your pan should look like this way. It makes your bread easy to come out. So our pans are ready, and I'm just going to set that aside, and then we'll continue with our bread making process. This is after 20 minutes. The bread has doubled in size a bit, and so I'm going to always sprinkle your wall surface. You know this is dough, is very sticky. If you don't sprinkle your wall surface, it might stick to your table. So I've just sprinkled little. Make sure the flour is little. Don't put so much, okay? Because too much flour might kill the activity of the yeast in your bread. All right, so I'm just kneading this a little to remove any air bubbles or any air it might have trapped into it while it was resting. And then I'm going to cut this into 2 because I want to make some into bread rolls, and I'm going to make some into the normal loaf of bread, And so I'm just going to cut this into tiny bits like this. If you're doing this for business, you can get a scale and measure to make sure everything is equal, but this is for my home. This is just me and my family eating, so there's no need for all those plenty serere. All right, so I'm just molding it just the way I'm doing it. You just clip the down, just form a very beautiful ball just like this, and then you just transfer it into your pan. I'm going to do about 3 or 4 of these balls and add. This pan is long enough to take about 4, so I'm going to make about 4 balls like this, and I'm going to keep them in my pan just the way you're seeing it. Sorry, it's sticking. If you're not careful, these things, they stick together. That's one thing with bread. You have to be very careful and make sure your hands are dried and there's flour in your hands at every time. Now this one is for the big loaf. Just look at the way I'm doing it. You're going to pick the other half, stretch it, lift one side, fold in, stretch, fold in, stretch. The reason why you're doing it like this is so that you get, if you carry the bread, the dough in lump like that, it will be too heavy. You won't get that fluffy bread. So just the way you're seeing me doing it is how you stretch your bread, clip it together, and then you add it into the pan. All right, just like this, straight up. And then we'll set that aside, and then the remaining dough, I'll just form them into balls, and then I'll keep them in the pan. So here, all my bread dough are already in the pan, and so I'm going to allow this to sit for about 45 to 50 minutes. I've covered it. Allow it to double up in size. Please do not miss any of this process, okay? So after about 45 to 15 minutes, see it, they've already doubled up in size. It means our bread is ready to be baked. I have heated my oven, and I'm transferring them to my oven, and after baking for like 20 to 25 minutes, our bread is ready. The bread rolls came out first. That's why you're seeing them first. The other one is still remaining a little. That's why I left it in the oven. And then I'm buttering my bread. I just like doing it that way. When it's hot like this, it gives you this shiny look. All right, so here, are you not seeing how yummy our bread is looking? Look how fluffy. Just look at how it is. Like, guys, you need to try this. I brought this recipe for you in the most simplified form so that you can definitely try it. Anybody can do this. It's simple, it's easy. And just look at the inside. Chewy, gooey, nice. You know me and gooey. Oh gosh, I'm so happy looking at the turnout of this. Like, I'm so happy, and I just took a big bite and I'm like, wow, now me do this thing. All right guys, you should have this feeling too. That's why you should try this recipe, okay? So please let me know in the comment section if you'll be trying this, and if you've watched this extent and you've not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. You will not regret being part of this Berrylicious family. I share amazing recipes, and until I see you next time, take care of yourself. To my old subscribers, I love you so much. Bye-bye.